The voice of the silence.
Fragment 2, the two parts. And now, O teacher of compassion, point thou the way to other men. Behold all those who, knocking for admission, await in ignorance and darkness to see the gate of the sweet law flung open. The voice of the candidates. Shalt not thou, master of thine own mercy, reveal the doctrine of the heart? Shalt thou refuse to lead thy servants unto the path of liberation? Quoth the teacher, the paths are 2, the great perfection 3, 6 are the virtues that transform the body into the tree of knowledge. Who shall approach them? Who shall first enter them? Who shall first hear the doctrine of 2 paths in one, the truth unveiled about the secret heart, the law which, shunning learning, teaches wisdom, reveals a tale of woe. Alas, alas, that all men should possess alaya, be one with the great soul, and that possessing it, alaya should so little avail them. Behold how, like the moon reflected in the tranquil waves, alaya is reflected by the small and by the great, is mirrored in the tiniest atoms, yet fails to reach the heart of all. Alas, that so few men should profit by the gift, the priceless boon of learning truth, the right perception of existing things, the knowledge of the non-existent. Saith the pupil, O teacher, what shall I do to reach to wisdom? O wise one, what to gain perfection? Search for the paths, but O Lanu, be of clean heart before thou startest on thy journey. Before thou takest thy first step, learn to discern the real from the false, the ever-fleeting from the everlasting. Learn above all to separate head learning from soul wisdom, the eye from the heart doctrine. Yea, ignorance is like unto a closed and airless vessel, the soul a bird shut up within. It warbles not, nor can it stir a feather, but the songster mute and torpid sits, and of exhaustion dies. But even ignorance is better than head learning, with no soul wisdom to illuminate and guide it. The seeds of wisdom cannot sprout and grow in airless space. To live and reap experience, the mind needs breadth and depth, and points to draw it towards the diamond soul. Seek not those points in Maya's realm, but soar beyond illusions. Search the eternal and the changeless Sat, mistrusting fancy's false suggestions. For mind is like a mirror. It gathers dust while it reflects. It needs the gentle breezes of soul wisdom to brush away the dust of our illusions. Seek, O beginner, to blend thy mind and soul. Shun ignorance, and likewise shun illusion. Avert thy face from world deceptions. Mistrust thy senses They are false, but within thy body, the shrine of thy sensations, seek in the impersonal for the eternal man, and having sought him out, look inward. Thou art Buddha. Shun praise, O devotee. Praise leads to self-delusion. Thy body is not self. Thyself is in itself without a body, and either praise or blame affects it not. Self-gratulation, O disciple, is like unto a lofty tower, up which a haughty fool has climbed. Therein he sits in prideful solitude, and unperceived by any but himself. False learning is rejected by the wise, and scattered to the winds by the good law. Its wheel revolves for all, the humble and the proud. The doctrine of the eye is for the crowd, the doctrine of the heart for the elect. The first repeat in pride, behold, I know. The last, who in humbleness have garnered, though confess, thus have I heard. Great Sifter is the name of the heart doctrine, O disciple. The wheel of the good law moves swiftly on. It grinds by night and day. The worthless husks it drives from out the golden grain, the refuse from the flower. The hand of karma guides the wheel. The revolutions mark the beatings of the karmic heart. True knowledge is the flower, false learning is the husk. If thou wouldest eat the bread of wisdom, thy flour thou hast to knead with Amrita's clear waters. But if thou kneadest husks with Maya's dew, thou canst create but food for the black doves of death, the birds of birth, decay, and sorrow. If thou art told that to become Arhan, thou hast to cease to love all beings, tell them they lie. If thou art told that to gain liberation, thou hast to hate thy mother, and disregard thy son, to disavow thy father, and call him householder. For man and beast all pity to renounce, tell them their tongue is false. Thus teach the Tirthikas, the unbelievers. If thou art taught that sin is born of action, and bliss of absolute inaction, then tell them that they are non-permanence of human action, deliverance of mind from thraldom by the cessation of sin and faults, are not for Deva egos. Thus saith the doctrine of the heart. The dharma of the eye is the embodiment of the external and the non-existing. The dharma of the heart is the embodiment of Bodhi, the permanent and everlasting. The lamp burns bright when wick and oil are clean. To make them clean, a cleaner is required. The flame feels not the process of the cleaning. The branches of the tree are shaken by the wind, but the trunk remains unmoved.